All right, let's dive into a really powerful short play called The Audition. Now, on the surface, it's a simple story that unfolds in one tiny room, but trust me, it gets right to the heart of some universal truths about passion, about rejection, and what it really means to be successful. So let's get into it.
The whole thing kind of kicks off with this one line from an old actor named Ben Matthews. We all end up somewhere. It just hits you, right? It's got this weight to it. A little bit tired, a little bit real. It perfectly sets the stage for everything that's about to unfold. After a lifetime of chasing a dream, where do you actually land?
So, where does our story take place? Not on some glamorous stage. Nope. We're in a dingy, beat-up community theater bathroom. I mean, you can almost smell the cheap soap and fluorescent lights. This is the arena. This is where our three guys are about to be tested, not just on their acting chops, but on why they're even here in the first place.
So let's meet the players. First up, you've got Ben Matthews, the veteran. He had a taste of Broadway once, years ago, and he's desperate to feel that magic again. Then there's Krista LaCroix, the purist. He's young, intense, believes in training, in the method, in the craft. And finally, we've got Luis Garcia, the outsider. He's a plumber who's never done this before, just showed up. Three totally different guys, all after the same role, but each one is a perfect snapshot of the creative struggle.
And this is where things get really interesting. Because of who these guys are, this whole thing stops being about just an audition pretty fast. It morphs into this really intense debate about what it even means to be an artist, what makes art authentic.
Chris, the purist, he just comes right out and asks it. What makes someone a real actor? Is it the classes you take? The fancy diploma on your wall? Is it about getting a paycheck for your work? Or is it something else entirely? The play doesn't just hand you an answer, which is what's so great about it.
And you really see these two worlds collide. On one hand, you have Chris's view. For him, it's all about the resume, right? The training, the credits, the proof you've put in the work. But then you've got Louise's reality. For him, art isn't about technique. It's about what you've lived. It's about knowing what pain feels like, what fear feels like, and being able to tell a truth that comes from your gut.
And this line from Louise, man, it's a gut punch. He just lays it all out there. He calls Chris out, basically saying, you think because I'm a plumber I can't get this? That I can't understand what it's like to watch your dreams crumble? He's arguing that his life experience gives him every right to be in that room.
And Louise doesn't just talk the talk, he proves it. He connects with this one specific moment in the play, the refrigerator scene. It's not about the words, it's about the feeling. He saw his own dad, a Vietnam vet, in that character, a man just unable to admit he was broken. And that's a connection, a truth you just can't learn in an acting class.
So, the story takes a turn here and starts to dig into something else, something really crucial. What's the price you pay for this kind of persistence? For showing up again and again and again when all you hear is no? What does that actually cost you?
20. When Ben says this number, it just hangs in the air. It's not a statistic. It's 2 decades. It's a huge chunk of a person's life, all wrapped up in a single, quiet word.
And that's Ben's story, right there. 20 years of waiting tables, of teaching kids, of doing cheesy dinner theater, all before he got that one shot on Broadway. I mean, that is a brutal, honest look at what a creative life is often like. The grind is real, and the wins can be so far apart.
And the thing is, everyone in that room is paying a price, just in a different currency. You've got Ben, who's given decades of his life and is now secretly battling an illness. Then there's Chris, who works what he calls a soul-crushing job just to pay for his acting classes. And Luis? He's risking total humiliation, putting himself out there in a world that feels a million miles away from his own. The dream costs every single one of them something.
All right, so this is it. The big moment. All the talk, all the debate, all the angst, it all gets put on pause. Everything comes down to a single piece of paper taped to a wall. The verdict.
And Ben just nails this feeling with this amazing line, Schrodinger's callback. It's perfect. For anyone who's ever waited for a result, a grade, a job offer, anything, you know this exact feeling. That second where you are both a success and a failure, all at once. You're simultaneously in and out until you finally work up the nerve to look.
So what's on the list? Chris comes back with the news. First name, Happy Loman. Goes to Ben Matthews, the veteran. He got it. Second name, Biff Loman. Goes to Chris Delacrosse, the purist. He got it too. And then, the surprise. They want Luis Garcia to come back and read for the part of Charlie. Every single one of them made the list.
And Ben's reaction, wow. You realize this isn't just another gig for him. 37 years. That's how long it's been since he was an understudy for this exact part on Broadway. This is closure. To finally play the role, even here in this small theater, it's everything to him.
And how about Luis, right? What a beautiful, perfect turn of events. He didn't get the part he went for. He got something better. They want him to read for Charlie, a character Ben calls the truth teller, and Chris calls the heart of the play. The directors saw right through his lack of a resume and they saw his authenticity. The outsider found a place where he belonged.
So you might be thinking, great, they all got parts, happy ending. But it's not quite that simple. The play suggests the real victory here, the real reason for it all, is something way deeper than just getting the job. It's about why we even show up in the first place.
And this is where the story just hits you like a ton of bricks. Ben reveals he has stage 3 pancreatic cancer. And suddenly, his whole reason for being there just snaps into focus. This wasn't about his career. It was about escaping his reality. For those 2 minutes in the audition room, he wasn't a sick man. He was someone else. He was alive.
And that's when you realize the real win here wasn't getting their names on a piece of paper. It was what happened between them in that dingy bathroom. These 3 guys walked in as rivals, sizing each other up. But they walk out as, Ben puts it, fellow actors. They're connected now by this shared moment of vulnerability and this shared success.
And this final line from Ben, it just wraps everything up so perfectly. This is why they do it. Why they put up with all the rejection and the soul-crushing day jobs. It's not for the applause which fades. It's for that brief, almost sacred time in a dark theater where they get to tell the truth together. That word, together, that's the whole point.
Which, kind of leaves us with one final question. This play is about acting, sure, but this idea is universal. We all have that thing we pour ourselves into, the thing we keep showing up for no matter what. So the question isn't just for them, it's for you. It's for all of us. What's the truth that you keep showing up to tell?